So here we are. This is the part we are left with for the front block, and I've placed on my fabric. Now this fabric is not on fold because if you notice the style we are trying to draft, the front, the wrap area has two different fabric. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting this on a single fabric, then take another fabric to cut the other part. Okay, so this fabric is not on fold. I just opened my fabric and placed the pattern on it. So I'll be tracing out what I have here exactly. So here we have our two front pieces. You can see traced on two different fabrics. And here is the back. Okay, here is the right side for both. And here is the back. So just pick up the back and you want to place it like so. Then we're going to be joining on the shoulder. We'll join on the shoulder by half an inch. Okay, then by the side, I will take in 1 inch. On this side also, I will take in 1 inch. Okay, so I'll do that, then we can continue. All right, so here's the point we have gotten to. I have joined it along the shoulder and also by the side. Okay, so this is the part I want to come out like this. So this part would go inside while this part would cross on top like this. So we are going to be reducing the width of this part. Okay, so all you need to do is to identify the midpoint. So once you identify the midpoint like so, you want to share this other part into two. Okay, so what we have here, what I have from this point to this point is 7 inches. So I would want to share it into two. That's 3.5 inches. And you can decide to just take away just 3 inches. It all depends. But you can still work with half of the midpoint. So here now we have 3.5 inches. So I'm going to be cutting out this 3.5 inches, right? So I'll pick up my scissors and I will just cut out from this point upward like so. So we have it going that way. So having done this, we are going to be cutting out the down part of this outfit, which I want it to be. You can make yours a line, but I want to actually cut a full circle for this particular outfit. So if you don't know how to cut a circle, a 360-degree circle, you want to check through this channel. I've made a video on how to cut a 360-degree full circle. Okay, now if you notice the style we are making, you would see that different fabrics have been used. So from this point here, from this joining here to this point, I'm going to use this exact fabric. Okay, why from this other point here, from here to this other side here, I'm going to be using this fabric. So how do I go about the calculation? I think what I'm going to do is I will just measure around. So let me just open up like so. So I would measure what I have to cut out the circle for this one first. I would measure what I have from this point here. Okay, better still, I'm going to open up my stitch so that when I finish fixing the circle flay, then I can join it by the side. Okay, all right, so I opened up my side seam a bit. Okay, so I'm going to be measuring from this point here to this end point here. Okay, from this point I will just measure around what I have to this point. Okay, then I would divide the value by 6.28, then of course cut out the flare. So I already mentioned to us that we should go check out how to make a circle flare. That would help you to cut out the flare for this. Okay, so here I have 31. Okay, then for this other part I would measure what I have from this point to this point. So I'll be cutting two different flare using these two different value, but they will have the same length but different width. Okay, so I will do that. I will show it to us. All right, so here is one of the flame. Okay, you can see it. I've already mentioned that you check through the channel on how to cut a circle, a full flare. Okay, so I'll just be cutting. We have two parts that is uncut, so I'll just cut open one of the parts like so. Okay, so we have it this way. Then I'll take this away and bring the second flare. Okay, and the same thing, we want to just cut open. I'll cut open one side like so. Remember I said you can even make yours a line. Okay, and if you're making it flare and the length is not enough, you can join to the down part to have a longer length, right? So here's what we have. I'll just open up and bring back the upper part. So here we have the upper part. So I'm going to be fixing one part of the flare, the one for this side. Okay, and here is the wrong side, right? So you want to just fix it right side touching right side. So I'll just be fixing it right side touching right side. So just pay attention to what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be joining it along this point here by 1/2 inch. Okay, all the way to the end of it. Okay, by 1/2 inch like so, till I get to this end point. Okay, then for this other side too, I'll pick up the flare for it and also position it right side touching right side. Okay, I can start from whatever point. So here we have the right side. Here's the right side. So I just check the right side of my flare and also start from fix the flare from this point, okay, till I get to the end of it. So if your flare is maybe bigger than where you want to join, you can just create some pleats. Okay, so I'll join it now and I'll show us what we have. All right, so here is the point we have gotten to. So you can see I've joined the flare to the parts. So it's a wrap gown, like we already know from the start. So this particular part here goes in like so. Okay, why this part comes out as we want it to be, right? So I want to show us something along this part here. Okay, you will notice that this top part here, we cut it straight, we reduced it earlier on. So the same thing we're going to be doing here. I want this down part to also have a straight line. So this part is going to be cut out. It's like excess. So I'll cut out this part so that I would have a straight line also. Okay, so once we are done with that, I'll be finishing up all the raw edges from the neck downward and even along the side too, from the neck downward with a bias. Okay, you can turn with a lining, but in this case we want to use a bias, so I'll just cover up all the raw edges with a bias. And of course we have not joined it by the side here. I hope you can see. So I'm going to be joining by the side here by the same 1 inch we started with. And after doing that, we attach our sleeve. You can use any type of sleeve you want, not exactly the one we use in class. And of course, after turning with a bias, we attach our belt here, the one we're going to be passing. So when joining the side, please pay attention. You want to leave out maybe like 1/2 inch space here, so that when we attach the belt on this part, on this waistline, we can insert it into the hole like so and bring it out. And this part also will be having a belt, okay, that we will take backward and tie at the back. All right, so let me show us how the back looks like. So here is how the back looks like. You can see how beautiful it is. And like I mentioned earlier, if you don't want to cut the down part to be a full flare, you can actually make it a line or 180 degree instead of 360 degrees, so that you don't have this much volume. But if you like what you're seeing and you want to do it exactly the way it is, so once I'm done doing all of the things I mentioned earlier, I'll fix the sleeve. Once I'm done, then I will show us the outcome. Don't forget I said I'll be cutting out this part to have a straight line. So I'll show us the outcome, and I have on the channel already how to draw different type of sleeve. You want to check them out in case anyone might suit your your taste. Okay, so let's just get to it, and so we'll see the final outcome. So here is the final look. I hope you learned something, and I wouldn't mind seeing what you also came up with. I hope it's as beautiful as this and even more. Feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video, share, and also subscribe if you have not. See you in my next class.